Cảm ơn quý vị đã trở lại với chương trình Khéo dùng tiền của đài Little Saigon TV. Chúng tôi là Katie Nguyễn và Linda White sẽ trở lại với quý vị tiếp theo những cái chương trình để mà giúp cho quý vị làm sao để thành lập được một cái business plan. Phần 1 đã được trình bày cho quý vị những thời gian vừa rồi, và tiếp theo đây chúng tôi sẽ nói về business plan phần 2. Hi Linda. I just mentioned to our audience that we're going to continue with our business plan and how we can help them to put together one. Please say hello to our audience, please.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us again today.
The segment on business plan, I know it would take more than just one talk show because of the time limit, for us to complete, the whole 9 yards of, the business plan. Can you talk a little bit to our audience why we need, before we go into, our elements of the business plan, can you tell them more why do we need to put one together? Who would need one? In terms of when would a small business put together one?
Well, we kind of addressed that last time as well, and pretty much if you're in business, you need a business plan. Depending on if you're looking for financing, looking for investors, then it's an absolute must. But even if you're not, it's just really important that you have a plan in place so that it's your guideline, it's your map to being able to get to your ultimate goals. So it's very important for every single business to have a plan.
Perfect. Okay, then, we can go into it because of the time. Take it away, please. I am going to, hopefully recap some of that important information in Vietnamese to our audience. But other than that, please take it away.
Okay, good. Well, just a quick refresh of what we talked about last time. As I mentioned, we talked about the importance of having that business plan. And we reviewed the first section of the plan, the first element of the plan, the business description. And just as a quick reminder, even though the executive summary comes at the beginning of the plan, it is what you will write last. After you've written the other 4 segments, you come back and you summarize the plan. So today, we're going to be moving on to the marketing plan. And the marketing section explains what you are going to do to actually get and attract customers to buy your products or your services. The marketing plan itself is broken down into 4 sections. The first is products and services. Obviously, you're focusing on what's unique about your products and how customers will benefit from using your product or service. The marketing opportunity section is where you're going to actually do some research so you can learn more about your potential market. Things like the size of the market, demographics of the buyers, growth and stability of the market segment. Sales and marketing, how are you going to get to those clients or potential clients? And the competitive analysis is devoted to really understanding and digging in and learning everything you can about your competition. So let's begin with the products and services. You're going to clearly describe what it is that you're selling, but you want to make sure that you keep it simple. Stay away from technical descriptions and jargon, buzzwords. But it's critical that you describe how your product is different from your competition. Also, if a market doesn't currently exist, you want to present and tell your reader why is this needed? Why does this market need your product or service? So to just kind of give you an idea, if you think about FedEx, before FedEx was actually a company, overnight delivery was a very small niche market that was served by small local businesses. So when the management team of FedEx was putting together their business plan, they had to define the opportunity that was there for a new large-scale service. And they had to justify why customers needed this and would they actually purchase. So you want to answer questions like, does your product actually exist right now, or do you need to develop it? And if you need to develop it, how long is it going to take? What is the competitive advantage that you can offer customers over the competition? Are there any disadvantages to your product or service, and how can you overcome them? Is pricing an issue? Can you keep your operating costs low enough so that you're going to be able to make a reasonable profit margin? How do you get your products? Do you manufacture them? Do you buy components from another company and assemble the products? Or are you buying from a wholesaler? And also, too, you need to think about, if your company really takes off, if you're really doing well, is the supply chain network strong enough that it's going to be able to keep up with the demand? We all know what can happen when we start having issues with supply chains, as we've all gone through in the last several years with COVID. Do you have any trademarks, copyrights, patents that you've applied for? And what are your future plans for the product? Are you going to develop additional products? And if you do, will you be presenting them along with the initial product that you are proposing? Or is it going to be a replacement? Are you able to expand your network of products?
Thank you, Linda. Kính thưa quý vị, trong cái thời gian vừa qua thì nói về vấn đề business plan, quý vị đã nghe về executive summary, đó là cái phần mà quan trọng nhất, nằm đầu tiên trong cái business plan, nhưng nó sẽ được viết sau cùng. Vì sao? Nó được tổng hợp hết tất cả những cái information ở trong cái business plan, để cho khi mà mình đưa cái đó tới cho nhà băng, đưa cái đó tới cho investor, đưa cái đó tới cho partners, thì họ sẽ coi được một cái tổng thể của cái business của mình. Thì trong những cái phần của business plan, executive summary rồi, business description rồi, thì hôm nay chúng tôi nói về vấn đề marketing plan. Quý vị cũng biết rằng là cái vấn đề tiếp thị và mang cái sản phẩm của mình hoặc dịch vụ của mình đến được cho người tiêu thụ, đó mới là cái chuyện quan trọng. Mình có đầu đưa ra, nhưng mà mình có cái nguồn để mà họ consume, tức là họ tiêu thụ những cái mặt hàng hoặc là những cái dịch vụ của mình không. Thì cô Linda cũng vừa đi qua cái vấn đề tại sao cái product hoặc là service của mình nó quan trọng. Bởi vì cái đó sẽ là cái core của cái business của mình, đúng không quý vị? Khi mà mình mở một cái tiệm phở thì tô phở của mình sẽ là cái sản phẩm. Mình mở một cái dịch vụ về sửa xe thì cái sửa xe, cái mechanical, những cái mechanics, những cái phần đó, những cái dịch vụ đó là cái phần chính của mình. Thì trong lúc mà mình đặt ra những cái vấn đề hoặc là đem cái sản phẩm của mình và bỏ trong cái business plan để cho nhà băng hoặc là investors hoặc là partners họ để ý, và họ sẽ cho mình ví dụ như quý vị đang tìm những phần vay vốn, quý vị đang tìm những cái potential partners, thì họ sẽ nhìn vô products and services của quý vị để xem rằng là mình lấy những cái product and service này ở đâu, từ đâu mình có những cái sản phẩm này kia. Có thể là từ mình mua đồ ở nước ngoài mình về mình ráp, mình mua đồ ở trong nước Mỹ mình ráp, mình những cái phần dịch vụ mình mang đến cho họ là những người professional ở trong nước Mỹ, hay là mình outsource ra nước ngoài. Tất cả những cái đó nó sẽ nằm ở trong cái phần products và services, để khi mà nhà băng hay bất cứ ai họ nhìn vào, họ đều biết rất là rõ ràng cái core, cái chính của mình để mà mình có thu nhập là từ cái gì. Cảm ơn quý vị đang theo dõi chương trình Khéo Dùng Tiền của Little Saigon TV. Chúng tôi sẽ trở lại trong giây lát và nói thêm về những cái phần sau. We're going to continue our
okay.
Right. Cho nên xin phép quý vị đừng rời làn sóng của Little Saigon TV. Chúng tôi sẽ trở lại trong giây lát. Cảm ơn quý vị. Cảm ơn quý vị đã trở lại với chương trình Khéo Dùng Tiền của Little Saigon TV. Cá nhân của chúng tôi, Katie và Linda Hoyt, sẽ tiếp tục với cái phần 2 của Business Plan, làm sao để mình có thể có được một cái tổng hợp Business Plan cho cái công ty của quý vị. Chúng tôi vừa nói qua những cái vấn đề về products và services, tức là sản phẩm và dịch vụ. Tiếp đến cô Linda sẽ trình bày phần marketing market opportunities cho quý vị. Go ahead, Linda, take it away.
Thanks, Katie. Marketing research is absolutely critical for any business if they want to succeed. And a good business plan is going to analyze and evaluate customer demographics, purchasing habits, buying cycles, and what's really key too is the willingness of a new customer to actually adopt using your product or service. And the product starts with you being able to really understand the market and the industry that you're performing in. And so you really need to be able to show that there is a viable market for your product. So you begin by looking at the size of the market and its current condition. And by that I mean, is the market stable? Is it growing? Is it declining? And then what segment of the market are you actually going to target? And what demographics make up that market? And depending on your product, that's going to be different things for different products and services. You might need to look at the income levels of your potential customers so that you can determine their spending ability. You might look at age, you might look at geographic locations, possibly education or profession, or any combination of a variety of different things. How can you make yourself stand out from the competition? And if you can, how do you do that so that it's cost effective for you? And remember, great products are wonderful, but there has to be a market for those products. If your customers aren't looking for maybe new enhancements that you're doing to an existing product, they're not going to buy it. So you've got to really determine that there's a market for it. And you want to take into consideration the spending ability of your target market. And key to understand the market in general terms, and then you want to dig in just a little bit deeper so that there are specific segments within that market that you're going to be able to focus on. For example, say you're selling jet skis. And from your research, you know that there's X millions of dollars of jet skis purchased every single year. And you learn that the buyer is typically in a specific income level. They need to earn, say, $60,000 a year. Well, that's going to tell you too on the age, because chances are they're not 20 years old, they're not making that kind of money, so they're going to have to be more established. They're probably going to have be in some sort of professional capacity, and they're probably going to be minimum maybe 30, 35 years old. We also know on the other side that senior citizens aren't buying a lot of jet skis, so maybe the age bracket's going to cap out at maybe, say, 55, 60 years old. And we also have learned from our research that 95% of all jet skis are purchased by men. So we now know that our target market is a 35-year-old professional male, and that's who you're going to focus your marketing efforts on.
Thank you, Linda. Quý vị cũng biết rằng khi mà mình có một cái business và cái công ty của mình có sản phẩm hoặc là dịch vụ là cái phần quan trọng, cái yếu tố quan trọng nhất trong cái business của mình, thì cái marketing opportunities, tức là mình sẽ có cái phần market share như thế nào để mà mình có thể chiếm lĩnh được cái thị trường của cái sản phẩm đó. Quý vị có thể có tiệm phở, quý vị sẽ cạnh tranh chung với lại những cái tiệm ramen của Nhật. Quý vị có thể cạnh tranh chung với lại những cái tiệm shabu của Nhật, hoặc là những cái tiệm soft tofu soup của Đại Hàn, thì tất cả những cái đó quý vị sẽ nhìn vào và quý vị phải cho mình được một cái chỗ đứng, thấy được cái vị trí của mình ở trong cái thị trường. Cái đó là cái quan trọng để mà quý vị có thể thắng khi mà mình bước vô cái bước ra cái thị trường và mình bắt đầu đưa những cái mặt hàng đó đến cho người tiêu thụ. Thank you, Linda. Please go ahead. I don't think time is limiting. Time is allowing me to take more.
Okay, all right. Okay, so we're moving on to our sales and marketing segment. Again, having a great product's wonderful, but if people don't know you're out there, it doesn't matter. You want to keep in mind, however, that marketing isn't just advertising, and that's what a lot of people often think it is. Marketing can be, yes, advertising, but public relations, promotional efforts, social media, your literature, your branding, and a combination of various things. And the most important thing is it's an investment in your business, in helping you to make your business successful. And like any other investment, you have to make sure that there's a return on your investment. And for marketing, that's higher sales and better gross margins. So let's look at what you might actually include in this. You want to focus on that target market that we talked about. Who makes the decision to buy your product or your service? And what is the best way for you to actually reach them? You want to look at the competition. You need to set yourself apart from the competition. And how can you highlight the advantages that you offer customers? You want to always have that utmost in when you're trying to talk to your customer. You want to make sure that you consider your brand. How are you trying to position yourself? It's going to have a dramatic impact on your sales. And you want to make sure that everything you're doing from a marketing perspective is reinforcing that brand. You want to focus on the benefits that you're offering customers. Customers buy on benefits, they don't buy on features. So they're buying about a certain product. It's how does it make them feel? What are their friends going to think about this? Is it going to help them get that promotion at work? People buy with emotions rather than features. And you want to make sure you determine your marketing budget and track it and make sure that you're getting the return on your investment. And if it isn't adapted, if it doesn't work well, you want to be able to adapt it. You need a plan B to make sure that you're not wasting your hard-earned money.
I think you go ahead and move right along to competition analysis, and I'll yeah.
Okay.
I'll do my recap.
Well, and we've talked about competition as we've kind of worked through this. And whether you believe it or not, every single business has competition, and don't think that you don't. You need to understand the strengths and the weaknesses, and you want to know how to be able to take your competition's weaknesses and make them a positive for you that you can exploit to show and make yourself stand out. You want to get behind what's the competition's objective. What are they trying to accomplish? Check out everything you possibly can, whether it's their website, their marketing materials. If possible, visit their locations. Learn everything you can. And if the entry into your market was easy for you, make sure you don't assume that no one else will follow. Because if it's easy, if the price is easy to get into the market, there's going to be more competition coming along.
Thank you, Linda. Kính thưa quý vị, thì cái phần cuối cùng thì quý vị cũng đã biết là khi mà mình có sản phẩm rồi, mình có dịch vụ rồi, thì bây giờ làm sao để mà mình len lỏi và mình có được một cái market share, làm sao để mình thắng được competitors, tức là những người cạnh tranh ở trong cái ngành của mình. Thì cô Linda cũng đã đi qua những cái mà quý vị cũng đã thấy vấn đề làm sao để sales, làm sao để làm marketing, làm sao để hiểu được cái competitive analysis, tức là cái thành phần cạnh tranh với mình là ai, direct, indirect tức là đối diện thẳng với mình, hoặc là những cái người mà cạnh tranh không có direct với mình. Thì thực sự hôm nay buổi của chúng tôi thời gian nó cũng đã không có cho phép để nói nhiều hơn. Nếu mà quý vị có cần thêm những cái support và cần chúng tôi có thể ngồi xuống để mà tư vấn riêng cho quý vị, thì quý vị có thể liên lạc với chúng tôi. Cảm ơn quý vị đã theo dõi chương trình Khéo Dùng Tiền của Little Saigon TV. Hẹn quý vị lại vào kỳ sau. Thank you, Linda.
Thank you, Katie.
Yes.
Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next time on writing an operating plan.
Thank you.